Hey everybody, Black Metal Werewolf here, making a new video for this week. Before I get into today's topic, last week I showed off my big ass new arm bracers. Since I got a bonus from work, I thought I would splurge on and get some metal gear. So this is my first purchase, getting these arm bracers. My second one, I thought I'd show it off, have a little fun, is I bought these big ass leather boots. I got them from my eBay seller, Sexier Feet. I just went on to eBay looking for some heavy metal boots, and this seller happened to be selling some Demonia boots. I looked at all their different types. A lot of them look pretty feminine, but I saw this one with all the bullets on it, and I thought it was like a really cool and heavy metal. So yeah, I just picked it up. Really good quality, nice leather, nice boots. So yeah, if you want to get some pretty kick-ass boots, check out Demonia or Sexier Feet on eBay. They're a little pricey, but they're worth it, Anyway, so I just thought I'd talk about that for a minute. So for today's topic, I'm going to be talking about unblack metal and how I thought it was kind of weird. A little while ago, one of my older brothers showed me a video about how unblack metal exists, and I had never heard of unblack metal before. I'd heard of white metal, but I'd never heard of unblack metal. To put it simply, unblack metal is white metal in the style of black metal. So just imagine black metal with Christian lyrics. So a lot of it's kind of weird because you hear it when you hear like the black metal sound. A lot of people think of the satanic thing about the Norwegians, like unholy black metal, true Norwegian black metal. It conjures a lot of just the sound of it makes you think like darkness and evil and all that shit. But then when you read the lyrics, it's like I seek thy advice, Jesus, and all that. I listened to three unblack metal bands. I listened to Crimson Moonlight, Ancestor, and Horde. I listened through the entire album, Helig Olsevart, I believe it was called. I did a little bit of research on unblack metal. There's a bit of debate of where unblack metal started between Australia, I believe it was, and Norway, between Horde and Ancestor. I guess it doesn't really matter where it started, but it's just really weird. And then it got me thinking as I was thinking, that's so weird. How come Christianity and heavy metal can't really get along? And it made me think the whole chicken and the egg argument. Which came first? Did heavy metal despise Christianity first, or did Christianity despise heavy metal first? And, I was thinking back to the days of like Black Sabbath, right? If you listen to Black Sabbath's first album, on their first song, Black Sabbath, and on the album Black Sabbath, Ozzy sings like about Satan and stuff like that. But it isn't inherently satanic. Like, they're not, like, worshiping the devil. It's just, like, they're talking about it. And I can understand that a long, long time ago, well, I suppose not that long ago, but, long enough ago, when Christianity has always been a very big religion in Europe and North America. So anytime anything, like, really kind of comes up against it, they're quick to jump on it and attack it. So... like in the 60s and 70s, if anyone wrote anything mildly satanic, the evangelicals would immediately jump on it, label it satanic, say it shouldn't be played around children or anything like that, and it's bad and all this horrible shit, So when you have all that, Black Sabbath didn't really go against Christianity. They just sang about Satan. And it was Christianity to jump on it and immediately take a firm stand against it. And even before Black Sabbath, there were Christians going against Alice Cooper because there was so much blood and violence, and they thought it was satanic. And even before Alice Cooper, there was Elvis, and it was labeled satanic because of his hip shaking. He'd get on stage and shake his hips, and the girls would go wild for it, and people automatically assumed it was unchristian and all this stuff. And so, of course, when heavy metal came around, the darkness around it and the heavy sound, a lot of Christians just immediately labeled it satanic and just did the whole thing. Whereas even though a band had like nothing to do with Satanism, they would automatically get labeled Satanist. But then as heavy metal progressed and it got bigger and badder, a lot of bands like Slayer, let's say, if they're gonna hate on them for being satanic, we may as well give them a legitimate reason to hate on them. Like albums like Hell Awaits and Rain and Blood, it's all these things. Like, maybe it just got to the point where like, okay, they're gonna hate us, so we may as well intentionally step on their toes. But then there are some people who are legitimate Satanists, like King Diamond. He is, I believe he actually is a legitimate member of the Church of Satan, or even if he isn't like a registered member, he follows the philosophy of it. The guy from Decide, the lead singer, I believe he like burned like an upside down cross into his forehead. I'm pretty sure he's a Satanist as well. But it's not that they're intentionally going to step on Christians' toes. If they legitimately believe in a religion, they legitimately believe in it. But I'm willing to bet there were some people who intentionally went out just to piss off the Christians by doing the whole satanic imagery and things like that. I am going to be doing a video about Satanism in metal all on its own. This one is just pretty much why can't Christians be a part of heavy metal? So obviously there are white metal bands, not a lot of them because honestly not a lot of people take the whole white metal thing seriously. They take a lot more darkness and evilness to it. And of course there are plenty of Christian heavy metal fans. They just enjoy the sound of it and they don't take the whole Satanism thing seriously. I'm glad there are people like that they can enjoy something and, you know, not hate it just because people have different ideologies than them. That's fantastic to see such open-minded people embracing something. You know, just because someone believes something different than you doesn't mean you have to fucking hate it. You can just, you know, people don't like heavy metal. That doesn't change the fact that I like heavy metal. Just like if I was a Christian and someone hated Christianity, does that rock your faith? No, you can still believe in it as much as you want. Someone else not believing in it does not change how much you believe in it. So with unblack metal, like black metal, a lot of people think it's fine, you know, it's just paganism and Satanism and all that stuff. But isn't it kind of hypocritical to hate on people for singing about Jesus and stuff like that? We can't be like all, you know, heavy metalists for everybody, except for Christians, Jews, Muslims, Mormons, Jehovah's Witness, and all these religions that believe in Jesus or whatever, or God. So I think it's kind of silly that we kind of hate on Christians and Jews and, well, you know, the Judeo-Christian gods and stuff like that, but we believe in like Odin and Thor and Satan and all this stuff like that. I just think it's kind of silly and funny, but that's kind of what I wanted to get at. Is it really that big of a deal if someone believes other like religions come into it and just make heavy metal about their religion? For example, in my band Powerwolf, a lot of people hate them, a lot of people love them, but regardless, they sing about religion. When I first picked up a Powerwolf album, I was listening to it, and I noticed how a lot of it was very religious. So I was like, shit, did I just pick up a Christian, like a white album without even realizing it? And I read up on, they just sing about religion, they don't sing for religion. Before I picked up an album from the band War of Ages, and I thought it was a really cool album cover, that's why I picked it up. Anyway, I got home and I listened to it, and I was like, it was like Christian metalcore. I was like, oh no, how could I have wasted my money on this? But then I just say to myself, did I really waste my money just because other people have different ideologies than me? I shouldn't just hate on it simply because it's Christian. And that's so ridiculously asinine for me to just hate on something because it's a different religion. Whereas I can support so many religions except for one because they worship a certain messiah or a certain god, you know? All in all, I think it's just silly. And we should be, I think a lot of people should be just a bit more open-minded to it. There are Christian fans who like heavy metal, but there are heavy metal fans who hate Christianity. But then again, there are Christians who hate heavy metal. So, and I guess it all comes full circle of people fucking butting heads, you know, they can't fucking stand each other. Just like my past videos, I do an album recommendation or an album warning. I usually do recommendations, and today I have to do another recommendation. I'm not going to do another warning. I should find an album I fucking hate, though, and tell you guys about it. But it's the band Glory Hammer. The album is Space 1992, A Rise of the Chaos Wizards. I picked this up at an HMV because I was going through their the metal selection. I just saw this album cover. It was so bright and colorful, and I thought it was really cool. Like that evil wizard on there with the staff and the power and shit like that. And of course, now anytime I pick up an album, I always check it out before I buy it. And it sounded like epic power metal, so I got home and I listened to it, and I really, really liked it. It reminded me of Blind Guardian, but not quite as good as Blind Guardian. So I think if you're a fan of Blind Guardian, you will like Glory Hammer. Definitely check out the songs. Legend of the Astral Hammer, Rise of the Chaos Wizards, and Universe on Fire. Those are my favorite songs on the album. Another thing I liked about Glory Hammer is they didn't take themselves too seriously. It's kind of silly. When you open up and go through like the album art, they're like wearing like spacesuits, and they look like kind of like Power Rangers, but one of them is dressed like as a Viking, or one of them is dressed like a Power Ranger. So I just like that. It was fun music. It didn't take itself too seriously. It was wacky and crazy, and really it was fun to listen to. So I think if you think like bands that it's like kind of like Gwar but power metal. They're fun and silly, and they don't take themselves too seriously. So that's it for today's video. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out some of my past videos as well. Also, don't forget to comment and tell me what you think of today's topic. I try to read them all, and I even try to respond to as many as I can as well. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be throwing that in the description section as always. once again, thank you very much for watching, guys. This is Black Metal Werewolf. Stay brutal.